All right, enough City and Sevilla. How about Women's World Cup?
Yes.
Because we have our finalists.
We do.
It's going to be on Sunday. It's going to be England. Well, I say Sunday, but depending what part of the world, it might actually be a different day.
True.
It's going to be England against Spain.
Yeah.
And whoever wins this is going to join a select group of nations that have won the World, both the men's and the women's World Cup.
Yeah.
Do you know who the only country to achieve it so far is?
It is Germany.
Germany, who won the men's World Cup 4 times. I think the women's World Cup twice, if I'm not mistaken.
Once.
Once, is it? All
Once.
right. England, of course. Some people say, should the 66 win count? But let's count it. Let's count it. Let's not be uncharitable. And, of course, Spain, their success coming much more recently.
Yeah.
Normally you ask, are these the two best teams in the tournament? Are these the two teams who play the best football in the tournament? I would right out say it. I would say, because I actually like players who are technical and pass and show it regularly.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Spain, yes.
Yeah.
England, to me, they haven't played great football,
No.
but they've made experience and grit and athleticism count. And also the fact that while they haven't played great football necessarily, they are still stacked with talent, with that combination of talent, experience, great football. I mean, we look at just the pool of forwards that they have, even with Beth Mead there, right? Not there, rather.
Yeah.
That makes such a difference.
Yeah, I think you summed it up well. I think Spain have been, for me, the best team because they've played the best football. Okay, they got battered by Japan in the group stage, but it's a meaningless score when you see it at the bigger picture now. They by far much better than anybody else as a squad technically. They were ahead of everybody. And I think they completely deserve to be there. England are this ruthless team, like France in 2018, for example, who don't play great, but do exactly what they need to win. You make a mistake, they punish you. They've got that sort of really efficient side of them, not just by scoring goals, but they're just efficient in everything. They know exactly what to do. They have confidence. They have a coach who they've won before, which helps, of course, the Euros. But they have that. So no, they're not great to watch. They don't play great, or they just do what they need to win. And I think this is a huge quality to have. And for that, they deserve to be there. They could have lost to Nigeria, maybe deserve to lose to Nigeria in the last 16. But in the end, they're there because of that ruthlessness that they have, for example, that the England men's side don't have at all, where the women's side really have it. And it's as much as that final is an opposition of style, it also shows that you can win two different ways. And I don't know who's going to win. I think Spain, I would go with Spain. I predicted them to win in my bracket. That was almost perfect, by the way. The only one I didn't have was France. I had France winning against Australia. But that two different style can still get you to a final of a World Cup, which I think is great.
Now, we talk about the two different styles, though. I don't think, though, that it's not quite necessarily that extreme, in the sense that it's not like England. I don't think it's England necessarily wanting to go and park the bus style football.
Yeah.
It's more a case of England haven't been able to play well in this tournament.
Yeah.
And they get through, though, because they generally have much better players in terms of total package than many of the teams that they faced. And you mentioned the ruthlessness. I might call it maybe the big game experience. Again, I think back to the Colombia game, right? Where, mistakes made a big difference in the game. Right?
Man. If they don't score just before they break England to make it 1-1, I'm not sure the rest of the game is the same.
But equally, they stay in the game. They stay in the game.
Of that mistake.
They don't necessarily feel as if they're flipping out. And I'm wondering, is it because maybe the England players are more used to playing on big stages in front of big crowds?
Yeah, maybe.
You know, we often forget the fact that, and this has been one of the stories of this World Cup, and we'll get into it in the Gab Juls podcast, the resources available to many women outside of the wealthy nations. You know, people talk about, like, oh, look, the Winter Olympics. It's the rich man's or the rich person's Olympics, right? Yeah, women's football is football for rich people. That's what it has been most of its history.
Time. Yeah.
So to see Colombia, I'm not saying Colombia's a poor country.
But now it's changing.
Football.
Yeah.
But for those women, in terms of experience, in terms of resources, you know, it is uphill. England had the mental strength to make that count, and I think that is one of the big differences about why they're this far in the final. I think it's pretty much level with Spain. Spain will wonder England will wonder maybe about some of their injured players who aren't there. Spain will wonder about some of the players who aren't there because of the issues with Vilda, the national team coach. We're going to get into that more on the Gab Juls podcast.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.